Hey y'all, it's your girl Q. No fancy intro, just real raw, and I'm back. So you're probably wondering what happened to me after I posted my last video about needing to literally escape Ecuador because the altitude was too much for me. So I am alive and I am well. So what happened after that video is I went back to Colombia, Medellin Columbia to be specific, and I was running low on funds, so I was like, I need to focus on working. So I went back to Colombia. I work, and if you're wondering what do I do for work, I close brand deals for influencers, and I also sell digital products online. So I was really focused on that, and I still own a creative agency back in the United States, and we basically do like content development and production for different companies. So I was locked in. I was barely leaving the house. I was working. And then a month after that, I got really bored of doing that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create a new content series that's basically about like budget travel, because people are always reaching out to me and they're like, hey, is traveling the world expensive? Do I need a lot of money? And I wanted to show people that you can do volunteer opportunities that allow you like free accommodation and free food and a bunch of free stuff in exchange for different services like marketing. Some of them are gardening, some of them are like cooking food. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a series like that, and I'm gonna show y'all the series. Ecuador was my first stop, but as y'all know, I did not last long in Ecuador because of the altitude. I only lasted like 7 days. So after spending a month in Colombia, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this again. Like, let's do this. I'm gonna show y'all you can travel for free essentially. So I got another opportunity on World Packers in Bogota, and I went to Bogota, Colombia, and I had been wanting to check out this area for so long. So I was excited to have like a free place to stay while I got to check out Bogota. So they told me that I'd be helping them with marketing, but when I got there, they needed me to do party promoting. They're like, okay, actually we don't need marketing anymore. We need you to help us market these damn parties by you being a party promoter. So I was like, oh wow, okay, I've never been a party promoter before. And honestly, I'm not really a big partier. Like, that's not the club. Things like that are not really my thing anymore. I'm 27, so maybe when I was a little younger in college and stuff, that was my vibe, but not so much anymore. But I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. Honestly, I'm all down for doing things for the plot, to be honest. So I was there, I was party promoting, but I stayed there like 10 days, but Bogota itself was cold. It was rainy, and in Medellin, like, the people are so nice and warm and friendly, but in Bogota, I felt like the people were like a little colder, which I didn't really like, and I felt like Bogota was just overall boring compared to Medellin. But there were other people volunteering with me. There was like, I want to say like 8 other volunteers, and they were so cool, and they were from all around the world, like Italy, Brazil, Poland, like literally everywhere. And one of the Polish guy was the chef, and ironically I was watching a bunch of TikTok videos a few months ago of like Polish food, which just looked really unique to me, and I was like, wow, I really want to try Polish food. Well, I got my wish, because the chef was a Polish guy and he was making Polish dishes, and all the dishes were quite unique. I'll make another video talking about some of the food, but all of them were so nice, so cool. I was literally the only American there, which I thought was so interesting. Like, it was just a really great experience bringing all the cultures together. But I could only last so long. I literally lasted 10 days, and it was nonstop partying like every single day, which that gets old. Honestly, by like day 3 of partying, that got super old. But I had opportunity to go to like one of the biggest clubs in South America called, I think it was called like Megatron or something. Look it up. It's in Bogota. It's literally like Disney World for clubs. I swear, it's like one club that has like 25 different clubs in it, each club has a different like vibe. Each club has different music to it. It's honestly a really cool place. Like, I stayed there to like 5 in the morning because around 2 a.m. I wanted to leave. We were allowed to leave at like 2 a.m. because, mind you, it's our job to be party promoters and like take the people and show them around, etc. So we're allowed to leave eventually. But the place was so big that I could not figure out how to get out. Like, at one point, me and a couple of the other volunteers just sat on this bench and we were like, we're trapped. We're trapped here. It was like a Black Mirror episode. Like, every time you thought you found the exit, you would just end up in a different club with different people, different music, dancing. So that was quite the experience and I really liked that. But of course, eventually I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I was gonna stay a month. I made it 10 days. I left. I went back to Medellin again. And I was like, okay, this series has to work. I'm gonna try one more time to volunteer so I can show y'all how you can volunteer your way around the world. So I tried one more time. This time I picked somewhere in Medellin because I was like, I just want to stay where I like it and I feel the most comfortable, which is Medellin. So I booked a bartending gig. Have I bartended before? Not really, but I was like, okay, how hard can it be? It cannot be that hard. I looked up a few drinks, I wrote down my note sheet, I had my interview with them, and I used my knowledge that I learned to get that role. They accepted me. I was super excited for this. I got there and I literally lasted like 1 day. So my first day there, no, I lasted like 2 days technically. I got there like midday the first day and I got checked in or whatever, and it was a pretty, like, the place had a super dope view. Like, it was really cool. It was a hostel. And then the second day they're like, okay, we want you to go ahead and get started. Boom, work behind the bar. So I'm behind the bar, but the place was like empty. Like, no one was coming to this bar. They said usually it's not a lot of people at all because usually the people staying there are like out and about all day and night, so no one's at the bar. So I'm like, okay, cool, chilling at the bar, and I'm like, and some salsa music came on, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna hit this salsa dance really quick. So I'm like salsa dancing to the music, having a great time, and out of nowhere this random guy just comes over and he just walks behind the bar and he grabs a beer and he leaves. And I mean, I saw him, he saw me see him, see me. And he just was so confident with it. Like, he had his beer, he was like, bye, adios, and he left. And it was just so confusing, but I'm like, okay, someone must have told him he can do that because, yeah, he was super confident about it. But later that day, the like owner of the hostel was like, hey, did that random guy just like go behind the bar and steal the beer? And I was like, I guess so, but I thought you told him to do that. And he was like, no, I didn't. So they didn't tell me that I had to leave, but I just got the vibe that it was probably better that I leave. And I know how I told you this was gonna be the last time, but I tried one more time because I only lasted like 2 days there. So I was like, I will give it one more shot. And I found another gig in Medellin. This one was a co-living space, not a hostel, so there's kind of a difference between the two. So they gave me my own private condo, which was super nice. They had a jacuzzi on the roof. They had an amazing view. Like, it was a really dope space, and there was like a lot of other travelers that stay in the building and stuff to network with, etc. They wanted me to help with marketing, and they wanted me to do reception at the front desk. So I was like, that's easy, I can do that. And pretty much they're like, you can also like bring your computer and like do your own work if you need to while you work at the front desk. So I was like, yes, this is awesome, cool. So I was there for 2 weeks only because I was gonna stay a month. I was there for 2 weeks because they had mold in the building that I didn't know about, and apparently I'm super sensitive to mold. So I got extremely ill, y'all. I got sick as hell, sick. So I had to leave there, and when I was telling them about the mold, they accused me of breaking the jacuzzi, First of all, I love jacuzzis. I would never break a jacuzzi. So I'm not sure if that was kind of just like an excuse to get me out of there because I complained about the mold. But long story short, I had to leave. And after that, I didn't have anywhere to go. Like I had to leave randomly. So I stayed in a couple hostels until I was able to book a long-term accommodation again. But in that time, I went to like 4 or 5 different hospitals. They weren't accepting my travel health insurance, or they were just like over capacity. So, but I really needed to be seen by a doctor. I met this Colombian guy that I started dating. Yes. But yeah, I met this Colombian guy that I started dating. Turns out his sister was a doctor, and literally she got me into her hospital, and I was able to see a specialist for free. Yes, shout out to them. They literally saved my life, because then I had to get like 6 or 7 different medicines that I had to take every single day to try to get better. And I had to start using this inhaler. Like I had to do a complete lifestyle change, a complete diet change, no drinking, no smoking, ganja. no nothing, like not even being near other people that smoke, not cigarettes, not nothing. Like I couldn't be around people spraying perfume. I couldn't be around any of those things. I couldn't drink cold things, like literally a whole lifestyle change I had to do. And I was sick for about 2 months. Yes, almost 2 full months. I was bedridden, y'all. Bedridden in Colombia. And remind you, I had summer plans. Like I was gonna go to Brazil, I was gonna keep doing my thing, but I ended up in Colombia for the whole summer, sick as hell, in bed. It was crazy. I was praying to God that I would get better, because I'm like, what are the chances that I've been country hopping for all of these months, which at this point, I think it had been like 9 or 10 months. So I was like, what are the chances I've been country hopping for 9 to 10 months solo, and I've been safe in every country I go to, and now mold is trying to take me out? The mold? So I was like, no, it can't end like this. No. So I'm so glad that I got better. And the doctors actually said they feel like my positive mindset is one of the reasons why I got better so fast. Also because usually it takes people a little bit longer to get well. So I was really, really grateful for that. But I ended up staying a little bit longer than expected in Colombia, as I mentioned. You only get 180 days there. So once I hit that, I had to leave. And the closest place for me to go was Panama, which is about an hour flight from Colombia. And I also hadn't traveled since I was sick, so I was a little worried about long flight time. So I also wanted to pick somewhere that didn't have a super long flight. So now I'm here in Panama, and I'm having an amazing time. I've been here like 2 weeks now. I already made some cool people to hang out with. We're going out to dinner tomorrow, and then we're gonna do bar hopping. So I'm super, super excited about that. I don't really drink anymore because I'm still recovering kind of from the mold illness. So I really can't process alcohol that well. So I probably won't drink, but just the vibes, right? Just being out with some cool people, having a good time. So I'm really excited about that. And yes, if you've been wondering where I've been, all of that happened so quickly to me. So it's crazy. I pretty much missed the whole summer. But when you're a digital nomad, it can always be summer. So technically it's still summer for me because Panama's weather is around like 80 degrees every single day. I am here during rainy season, but honestly, rainy season doesn't really bother me that much because my first country that I really stayed in for a long time was Costa Rica. And it was actually around this time of year last year, and it was rainy season there. So I've honestly grown a nice little appreciation for spending rainy season in countries. Like, it's nice and it's peaceful. But please follow along for the rest of my journey. Tune in. It feels so good to be back. I'm about to start dropping more videos again now that I'm getting my strength and energy back. And yes, also, this is your sign to live your life, because literally things can change so fast for you. I know that I'm just so grateful to be able to breathe and be able to live my life again, and so grateful for things like inhalers. And yes, so thank you so much for supporting me on my journey, and I hope to talk to you guys again very soon. Make sure you subscribe. Bye.